friends, welcome to Easy IELTS channel. I hope you're enjoying learning in my videos, and we are going to do yet another video for question and answer of part 1. I'm sure you learned quite a bit, and I hope you enjoy learning in the videos to come as well. If you're new here, subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we publish a new video. I know you're busy, I'm busy too, so I have no idea when I'm going to publish my next video. So if you subscribe and press the bell icon, the new video will knock at your door of your inbox. That will be helpful for you. And also, good things have to be shared. Share my video with your friends and family so that everybody else is helped as well. Sit back, relax, enjoy learning.
Do you think lifestyle of people has improved or deteriorated recently?
I think lifestyles have changed. I wouldn't call them deterioration, but I would say that they have improved quite a bit. Only because of the advancement of technology, more and more awareness, and the health consciousness that people enjoy these days. So as a result of all of these factors, they have just modified their activity pattern, dietary pattern, and also they have amended their hobbies and habits. I think we have seen a lot of improvement in the lifestyle rather than anything else.
Do you think people are active or sedentary these days?
I think people are strategic these days. They are working smarter rather than working harder. So although most of their work life is sedentary, so to speak, I think most people have some form of exercise or activity incorporated within their daily routines. Hence, rather than judging that life has become sedentary these days, I would say that people have become more strategic and organized in terms of having their sedentary bit of life and active bit of life incorporated in their daily lives.
Talk about the local area that you live in now.
I live in a very nice local area. It has really nice shops, very good hospital, excellent school within a minute's walking distance. I have train station like in less than 7 minutes walking distance, and I have a bus station in like less than 2 minutes walking distance. Basically, I have all the essential facilities very close by. Having said that, I must say that I do miss the seaside. For a seaside, it's a long journey.
Do you have all the amenities in your current locality?
Yes, I have all the basic as well as advanced amenities. As I already mentioned, the one thing that's lacking in my locality is a beach, and I wish we had a beach a lot closer than what it is now.
Describe the type of house that you would like to live in the future.
In the future, I would like to live in a house which is detached with a separate entrance to itself without having to share with anyone else. And I would like it to have a well-proportioned garden with very good landscaping in it. And I would like to have a lot of outdoor plants in my garden and also have some indoor plants within my home. I would like it to have at least 3 to 4 bedrooms and 3 to 4 bathrooms. And I would like it to have a very big kitchen and diner, and also to have a massive lounge.
What do you do to minimize environmental waste?
I do a fair amount of recycling myself, and I also partner with the city council to recycle products. At the same time, I also segregate my recyclable ones and non-recyclable ones at the time of my waste disposal. That helps, and I tend not to use too many things that will add into the environmental waste product accumulation, so to speak.
Have you ever won a prize in your childhood sports?
Yes, I have won loads and loads of prizes. Every year, multiple prizes. Only because I was crazy about sports. I enjoyed sports, and every single opportunity I had, I totally used it to the maximum. And hence, I did receive a lot of prizes for my sports-related activities.
Do you share your things with others?
Yes, I do. My parents were extremely strict about it. If we couldn't share, we're not having it either. So initially it started off as a resultant effect of my parental pressure, but then now I have learned through experience right from childhood that sharing is such a pleasure, and there is no greater pleasure than giving to others.
How can parents teach their children about sharing?
In my opinion, words speak softer. In fact, action speaks louder than words. So my parents had been great examples of sharing, and hence I think for parents it would be best for them to be good examples to share their own things so that their children learn to share as well.
Is a single child family a good idea?
In my opinion, it's not a good idea for neither the parents nor the child, because when there is just one child, parents become really obsessed with their child, and their child actually lacks liberty even in the trivial of things in life. And looking at the perspective of the child has no playmate. The child tends to grow up lonely and tends to be overly reliant on friends who are not so steady, friends who move, and friendships break up and things like that. So I think in both the ends of this single child family, whether the parents or the child, in both the ends, it is beneficial to have more than just one child. I think parents would be happier and the children would be happier as well. Having said that, I must admit raising more than one child is a bit more than work that it takes to raise just one child. But I think as a bigger picture, all the stakeholders will be happy with this more than one child in a family.
Do you prefer tea or coffee?
It's a very difficult question, but I would say that in the mornings, I would prefer coffee to wake myself up from my sleep. And in the evening, I do need a bit of caffeine through a nice cup of tea. And there are occasions where if I have something really important going on right into late evening, that evening I might go for a coffee rather than a tea. But I do enjoy coffee and tea to an equal extent.
What is your most favorite type of tea?
My most favorite type of tea is herbal tea. I know it's a bit of a pain to make it. I love ginger tea, and I also enjoy spicy tea made from Indian herbs.
Is it a good idea to make friends online?
In my perspective, it is a good idea to make acquaintances online and potentially find a friend or two if one could meet up with that online friend in person at some stage in life. But purely having an online only friend is a bit of a questionable aspect to me. I know some of my friends are very comfortable with it, but I think I would be more comfortable to have just acquaintances and probably even some sort of friendship, not actual besties or best friends online.
Which is better, a state government school or a private school? Why?
I couldn't say answer in a single sentence, because there are some areas where the state schools are really good and they are equally good, I must say. And there are some areas of a country where the state school standard is way less than the private schools. In the former, I would say both are equally good, whereas in the latter situation, I would say private schools are better, but it comes with a very high price tag though.
Is the color of your bedroom interior wall important to you? Why?
Yes, the color of my bedroom interior wall is very important to me, because as it stands now, it really gives a very calm and relaxing ambience, and that's extremely important to me at the bedtime, because it helps me to wind down really quick and fall asleep real fast. Whereas if I had anything different from what I currently have, perhaps I might have struggled to put myself to sleep at least some of the nights.
What is your most favorite color?
Interesting enough, my most favorite colors have been constantly changing from childhood, only because I was evolving as a person myself. At the moment, my most favorite color is orange. I must blame my husband for it, because he has bought me beautiful fragrant orange roses multiple times, and hence I'm a big fan of orange color. Who knows, it might change in the coming months and years.
Do different colors have different meaning in your opinion?
Yes, different colors have different meaning in my opinion. I think green is very refreshing to the eyes and it kind of denotes fertility, and in my eyes orange is quite stimulating and invigorating at the same time, indicating some sort of sacrifice, and red indicates passion and love. and some level of sacrifice. And yellow is just a pretty color to me. And white is the best of all in terms of the enhancing effect it has on the ambience of any place. It could be a home location or it could be an office location. White has something to it which no other color can render.
Do you like the sound of waves of the sea? Why?
Yes, I absolutely love the sound of the waves. I don't know why. It's hard to articulate why, but I just like it very much. I think it's quite relaxing for the mind to just close one's eyes and listen to the sound of the waves. They're unique, interesting, relaxing, and beautiful in their own way.
Have you ever heard the sound from a seashell?
Yes, I have, and that's indeed my most favorite sound as well. And it is very, very interesting. There are some differences between the sizes and shapes of seashell, but the sound that it can elicit, it's very interesting. And I'm very, very interested in listening to the sound that comes from a seashell.
Do you collect seashells? Why or why not?
Yes, I do collect seashells. I don't know the reason why. It just makes me happy, and I'm very intrigued to see different sizes and shapes and the impact of waves that it has on the seashells. Overall, I do go for well-rounded, good-looking shells, and I try to collect a wide variety of colors and put them in transparent jars. It gives some sort of beautiful interior decorative appeal to my place.
Have you played in the sand on a beach?
Yes, I have. It was very, very early in my childhood. There was a time I vividly remember in my childhood where we used to dig a little hole in the sand in the beach and put 1 foot and cover it all with mud. And then the semi-wet mud would just let us slowly take our foot out. And then hence it looked like a cave, and that was fascinating in my childhood. And my siblings and myself would do it, and then we would see who makes the prettiest of caves, and that used to be a lot of fun.
Why do you think children should play with sand?
I think play in itself is very, very therapeutic for children towards their growth and development, and it's really nice for the children to have the liberty and autonomy to get to touch the sand, feel the textures, shape, and enjoy the colors and get to play with it. I think it's very relaxing and tactile stimulation related activity which must greatly have a positive influence in their growth and development, including their fine motor development.
Is play important in childhood?
Absolutely. I admit that play is the most important part of childhood experience for a child, apart from obviously food, clothing, safety, and shelter. I think play has a significant impact in the positive development in terms of intellectual development or cognitive development, emotional development, social development, and to a large extent physical development as well, depending upon the extent of musculoskeletal involvement that occurs during the play.
Have you played an indoor game recently? Which one?
Yes, I have played an indoor game recently, and that was Monopoly. And I had played it with my kids, and it was very, very interesting. And I was amazed at the extent of intellectual involvement that it takes in order to do well in that indoor sport. I must say I had underestimated the effort that it takes to do well in that game. It was a very, very lovely time with my family.
What are the uses of indoor games?
I think indoor games greatly enhance the quality time spent with either friends or family that one gets to play the indoor games with without having to use much of outdoor space and mitigating the effects of not so comfortable weather. One would be able to indulge in sports activities in terms of indoor games, at the same time keep up their sports spirit and just have a great time with their loved ones.
Do you watch or play outdoor games?
Yes, I used to watch a lot of outdoor games on television, especially when my husband was watching cricket and football on the television. I would say I wasn't keen to watch the sport itself. I was simply sitting and watching my husband watch it. It was more like an activity or an excuse to hang out with my husband a bit more than otherwise. I was just thinking, if he has to watch the sports all by himself, he'll be gone like for a few hours. And that will be a loss of time for myself. So I would just hang out with him as much as I could. I don't know if it helped him, but it definitely helped me to learn a lot more about the sports that he was watching on television.
Do you watch sports on TV? Why?
As I mentioned earlier, I do watch sports only when someone else is watching sports on television. But if I'm left to myself, I'd rather not watch. I think I'm not so interested in watching just for myself. I often don't perceive it as fun activity when I have to watch it all by myself.
Should sports be part of school education? Why?
Certainly, sports must be part of school education because that brings forth a well-rounded personality development in a child's life. Although I would admit that children get to play at home as well, but nothing like playing with their classmates and friends and peers in the school environment and developing that team spirit and sportive attitude and learning to be able to handle frustration of a failure during a sport event and things like that. So I think it's very, very beneficial for the psychological and emotional development of a child to have sports as a part of school education.
What are the benefits of sports in childhood?
There are a wide variety of benefits of sports in childhood. The sports can improve their memory, concentration, capacity to learn. It can help them to develop musculoskeletal system-wise. It helps them in their psychological development, emotional development, socialization and social development. It also helps them to handle life a bit more better than the kids who were never involved in sports. And they actually are able to expect the unexpected and handle life so much better than otherwise. I think sports is a great thing to have in life.
How can obesity be prevented among children?
I think obesity can be easily prevented among children if the parents manage to prevent obesity in their own lives. If there is obesity among parents, if they can mitigate it or manage it in a way that they can minimize it, that might have a positive impact on children. Oftentimes, children are obese because of the diet pattern that goes on in the family home. So when parents are very mindful of what goes into the system, it automatically tunes the children's dietary pattern to a healthier side, at least to a large extent. I'm not saying there are no exceptions, there could be exceptions, but in general, all things considered, it is a good thing to start with parental weight that might automatically lead to healthy weight among children in a family.
What is success in your opinion?
In my opinion, success is the ability to do what you intend to do. Success is not a destination, it is a journey. And for example, if someone wanted to get a university degree, on day one of his university studies is success indeed, because he is on track to the destination that he intends to land on one day. So it is success. And having spoken about success, I don't think there is anything called failure. It's a journey, and even the so-called failure is a stepping stone to success one day. At least that's what is my opinion.
How have you been preparing for your IELTS exam?
I've been preparing for my IELTS exam really hard. I've been watching loads of YouTube videos. I tend to play YouTube videos and go to sleep, so my subconscious mind listens to the videos or audio messages heard by my ears and records it in my mind. It kind of helps me, and I've always learned really well by listening. So I think listening to the audio messages and video messages helped. And I also do reasonable extent of combined study with my friends who are also preparing for IELTS exam. And of course, I also do a lot of practice tests on my own in the sections that I have to do it myself.
Do you believe in combined study or solo study? Why?
I believe in a bit of both, because combined study works well for certain sections of learning, and for certain types of learning, solo study perfectly works. So I would like the learning to happen as efficiently and as effectively as feasible, and hence I do have a habit of indulging in solo study at times, and there are also times where I engage in combined studies.
Who are fast learners, children or adults?
Most definitely it is children who learn really fast. That's only because they have such intense concentration, although their attention span is quite short. Because of the intensity of their concentration that they have, they are rapid learners.
Why do you think children are usually happy always?
I think children are usually happy always only because of three things. Firstly, they forget the past. Secondly, they enjoy the present moment. And thirdly, they're not worried about the future. They're happy all the time. And it is interesting to see how happy they are all the time, whilst adults are worried at least most of the time.
Is entertainment important?
Most definitely. Entertainment should be an integral part of everyone's life, and everyone should be able to engage in some sort of relaxation or recreational activity which kind of unwinds them from the busy stress and strain of daily lives or work lives. Hi friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you observe the different types of vocabulary, tense forms, grammatical forms, sentence structures, voice modulation, intonations, and of course there have been some occasional errors which have been subsequently corrected. So the most important part of speaking is just to remain spontaneous, and it's all about your opinion. You can be perfectly wrong and yet get a very good score, because IELTS is after all not testing the facts of life, it's just testing your language proficiency, your ability to use different forms of sentence structures, and your ability to hear the question, understand it, and give a reply that makes more sense in terms of the question asked. And one word or one sentence answers are not acceptable in part 1, as you could see, and it does require you to speak to say a few sentences in a row so that it gives a reasonable length of duration in terms of answering the questions asked. Enjoy watching many more videos to come. See you in my next video. Oh, by the way, before I let you go off, if you need IELTS checkup for your test readiness, or if you need one-to-one IELTS coaching, send a WhatsApp message to William on 0091 944 923 1446. If you need immigration advice on student visa, send a WhatsApp message to Abby on 0044 773702 4736. If you need career coaching, send a WhatsApp message to Cecily on 0091 9480 429 188. If you already have the required IELTS score and need free recruitment opportunities, including work visa, to work in the UK or Ireland, send a WhatsApp message to Cecily on 0091 9480 429 188. If you cannot get the required IELTS score despite repeated IELTS attempts and you wish to have an urgent senior carer visa, send a WhatsApp message to William on 0091 944 923 1446. By the way, don't get worried that you would have missed the phone number. They are all listed in the description below. Good luck!